Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's Live with Pixel Fusion. I'm Lauren, and this is my lovely co-host, Catherine Barrow.
Hi everyone.
So Catherine, how's your week been?
Yeah, it's been really good. Pixel Fusion's had, as always, actually a really busy week. And one of the really exciting things that we got to do this week was actually a little bit of Guerilla User Research, which we do quite a lot of. So, often we're working on user research projects with our clients, and Guerilla Research is one of those really quick and accessible ways to get some great user feedback. And we actually have a little video of two of our designers out there in the field doing some research, so let's have a look.
So we're doing Guerilla Research, which is basically like approaching people with a few questions, and for spending time with us, we're going to buy them delicious coffee, so to appreciate their insights, to get more information about their habits and how they, what we want to learn. So basically, we got some assumptions that we want to quickly validate, and those information that we're going to gather today will help us within our next steps when we are doing the customer journey mapping. So we also get some insights from the customers and people who actually do it. So keeping it in person gives a little bit more qualitative data.
Especially when we talk to people, it will start forming a story that will basically help with the user journey mapping session that will come after this, basically. So it helps to build stories and helps us to understand it in a more deeper level than just a survey.
And clients usually have some assumptions about their customers, and these quick interviews are helping to actually understand and know better the people who are using their product.
So this kind of interview is really useful when you're preparing for a journey mapping session, right?
Yep.
What are other ways that we can prepare, let's just say if we're going to be doing one at our company?
Yeah. So one of the most important things is to consider the outcome. So what is it that you're actually doing the customer journey mapping exercise for? And it's really important for not just the people who are organizing the session, but actually everybody who's participating to understand why it is that they're there and what the business is trying to achieve through this workshop. And you'll get much better results if everybody is aligned on what the desired outcome is going to be. And I mean, that's true of everything really in a design thinking sense. The other is to think about the scope and which journey you're actually going to be mapping. There are literally infinite different ways that you can map journeys inside your organization. So it's important to discuss that scope up front, and the scope is what persona's journey are you going to be mapping, but it's also which channels and which tasks. And we've actually got a really useful little diagram that we can bring up that kind of shows you the different types of journey maps that you can create and how they vary in complexity as well. So if you imagine the simplest,
here we go.
There it is. Yep. So the simplest kind of journey map that you can create is a single person trying to achieve a single task on a single channel. Right, so as simple as I want to buy a movie ticket on Event Cinema's website, for example. That's a single task that I'm trying to achieve, and I'm doing it all through a single channel, which is the website. And so those are really good for being able to dig into the very specific granular detail of a particular task. And then all the way on the other end of that is sort of the most complex kind of journey map, which is really mapping the entire customer life cycle across multiple channels. So multiple tasks across multiple channels. And the example I use for that usually is my lifetime relationship with a bank, right? So everything from setting up my initial account to getting a joint account if I get married, to applying for a mortgage or a personal loan, buying a car. And that happens across multiple channels as well. So you've got online, on the app, in person, customer services, representatives, all of those sorts of things. And so you can see that that's actually a very complex journey map and requires a lot more time, a lot more research to get right. And each of those types, and the other two types in that diagram there that I haven't discussed, have their own role to play in terms of the outcome that you're trying to achieve. So it's really important to prepare that beforehand. Maybe we should just take that down so you can see us again. So, that's really important to have upfront. And then the last thing that's, essential to understand is what are you going to do with that customer journey map afterwards? If you don't have a strong plan for how you're going to use it and what your next steps are going to be in terms of actioning some of the ideas that come out of it, then you're not quite ready to do that journey map, and you need to kind of take a step back and think about what your strategy is going to be afterwards. And then, of course, you need your research, which is what you get from your Guerilla User Research that we were talking about earlier.
Do people journey map prospective problems that they already know they have to find the answers, or is it just do they choose a section and journey map that?
Yep. So journey mapping is about understanding the entire end-to-end journey, and through that you will find problems. And there may be problems that you already know about that you now just understand better because you have the wider context. Journey mapping is about broad perspective. So instead of just looking at a single problem, we look at how that problem exists within the wider context of the customer journey. So sometimes it may be that you have a problem on a particular channel or with a particular task, and you want to map that out to really understand why that problem exists, how does it relate to other steps in the process, and what creative ways can you find to actually solve that problem or remove the problem entirely. Sometimes it's a diagnostic thing that you already have a problem and you want to understand it better. And sometimes it's actually more of a research and ideation thing where you're looking at, I just want to improve this channel generally and I want to see what opportunities I can find to do that. And you'll uncover problems, you'll uncover opportunities, and you go from there.
So that's probably going to be one of our last times that we talk about journey mapping on the show. If you do have any questions, please pick them through in the comments, or you can email them to us because we'd love to let you be able to answer them. Like I said, Kat's a wealth of knowledge in this area. So on Tuesdays, we put up all the links that we've mentioned in the show and the blog post together with this video if you want to watch the whole thing again. And we will also put the link so that you can download that little diagram as well. Make use of it. Cool. So we'll see you next Friday.
Yep. Thanks for watching.